in a WhatsApp stroke text line. I'll be reading those messages out for you. Those of you watching us on Facebook can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Don't forget to leave your suggestions, questions, contributions, and all of that on our socials, and I'll be reading all those messages out for you as well. My name is Justice Apia. Tonight on the Prime Points, the minority in Parliament has blamed the Mahama-led administration for the ongoing power outages across Ghana. They described the situation as a result of poor management and neglect of the energy sector. According to the minority, the recent disruptions in electricity supply are not isolated incidents, but part of a long-standing crisis that began months before the reported Akosomo-related development. Now, the minority insists that Ghanaians have been experiencing persistent power outages since January 2025, long before the latest incidents in April 2026. And so, tonight we are still looking at the issue of Dumso in the country currently. The NDC wouldn't want this to be described as Dumso, but literally, Dumso is switching our lights on and off. I don't know. They are saying that Dumso has a standardized explanation or definition. And what it means is that a situation where we are rationing power, a situation where timetable is given to the good people of Ghana, that is what can best be described as Dumso. But literally, Dumso is switching our lights on and off. Do you have lights? Or do you have light tonight? Which area are you watching us from? Which region are you watching us from? Tell us if you're having light. Well, tonight on the show, I've been joined in a studio by a very good friend and a brother and person of Comrade A.A. Gafaru. Comrade A.A. Gafaru is the Northeast Regional Communications Officer of the ruling National Democratic Congress. Gafaru, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Justice, and good evening to your cherished viewers across the country, particularly the Northeast region and the Northern regions.
Right.
They so much like your night program. I think basically that's the best night or evening program that you can talk of in the country. So my regards to the good people of Northeast and my communicators across.
Well, Nalergu is my home. Nalergu and Gambaga, those places are home. You know, and my greetings to the people of both Gambaga and Nalergu. Very soon I'll be there.
It's been a long time you've been there.
Yeah, it's true. Not forgetting Bunkrugu and then Nankpanduri. My friend Abednego. Yes, yes.
So that means the people of the region, they miss you a lot.
Yes,
you need to get time.
Right. I know, right? That's my second home. I consider that place my second home. Also in the studio with me is Dominic Affo. Is it Dominic Affo Mensa?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a member of the MPP communications team. He's also a brother and a friend. Dominic, how are you doing?
A propaganda man. Propaganda man.
Belongs to the NDC. It's a prison.
Well, people are saying that currently the MPP is in tatters.
Really?
Yes. What's the current situation? What's the current state of your party?
Oh, very healthy.
What they are saying is that Honorable Alancha Martin broke away. He formed his movement for change. Now the United Party. Now the United Political Party. And we are also told that
really
one
is
a political party registered under the laws of the country. That's a political party. In law, that is a political party. But I mean, beyond Honorable Alancha Martin breaking away, forming his movement for change, which has now transmogrified into a political party, they are saying that a financier of your party has also formed the base, and they are looking forward. They are also looking forward for Honorable K. Japan becoming, the leader of the base.
Honorable K. Japan loves MPP so much. He will not make that mistake.
But you don't love him.
Are you sure?
And people don't love him.
So you don't love him.
But when you are treating the man, it's not fair. It's not fair.
If the MPP loved him, they would have voted for him in the just an election.
Are you saying that love is only expressed in voting?
Okay.
Oh, so you shouldn't say that.
But we had certain people.
If you don't vote for Ise Dunkatia.
Wait. He was insulted, castigated. In fact, a lot of bad things were said. To Honorable K. Japan ahead of your primaries. You heard all these things. You were part of his team. Were you not part of it?
Sure. That one was just by the way. It's one of those casualties you encounter in political activities. You get it? Koba and Isisiaba. So it's normal, and he understands the game.
So what's the current state of the NPP?
Very healthy.
I see.
We are capturing power 2020. Oh, well, you can't see that they are struggling already.
I see.
Or you can't see it.
Okay.
How are they struggling?
Oh, you just mentioned.
The last time I checked, the dollar is around 11 cedis.
Oh,
the last time I checked, if inflation is hovering around 3.2%
on paper.
The last time I checked,
stability on paper.
Interest rates are down.
Stability on paper.
So the economy is.
You remember, he said Lugatia asked whether we are going to eat inflation.
Okay, but so you are also asking the same question.
I'm asking the same question.
Right, but in spite of everything, despite the not Russia, Ukraine as such, Israel.
Are you really bringing this up?
Israel, Iran, and then
are you
US
really bringing
war.
this up?
Beyond despite the Israel, Iran, US war, where most countries are suffering from.
Really?
These.
What is the distance from Ghana to Iran?
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
We do know that the world actually gets about 20-25% of its oil from
What's
that
the distance
enclave.
from Ghana?
So
to
if
Iran?
something happens in Iran, it affects almost everybody
really?
in the world.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh no, maybe you don't know what you are saying. You should ask the president. The president holds a different view.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
Because the distance from
prices are
Ghana
relatively
to
cheaper
Iran,
in this country even
really?
now as I speak.
So why the reduction?
Yes. What matters is that
but
there's relative stability in the country. That is what matters.
He has qualified it. I think he has done a good job.
There's relative stability.
Okay.
Yeah, relative.
So
we'll get there.
Now let's start with the discussion. I'll start with you, Gafaru.
They are laying the allegation.
No,
we are leading the country. They are laying the allegation. I don't even know what they said.
Beyond their allegations, right? You have also ascribed, or you've given certain explanation to the good people of Ghana as to why we are experiencing power outages.
Yes.
When it started, the ministry or the minister indicated that it's as a result of replacement of some faulty transformers, or you are replacing some transformers, and that's how come we're experiencing doomsday. Then the conversation shifted from replacing faulty transformers to fire gutting the substation at Akosombo. Then we also saw the dismissal of some top officials of Gridco in Kumasi and all of that. You see, the last time I traveled to Sunyani, that was last Saturday, on my way back on Monday, from Kumasi to Accra. A lot of the communities along the stretch were not having light. So it looks like we keep moving from one excuse to the other. There has been a research by a sister station, Joy. They have actually indicated that the current doomsday is more driven by power generation deficit than technical faults. We do not know what to believe. Ghanaians really do not know what to believe. They don't know what the real situation is. You are a communicator for the government. Why are we experiencing doomsday?
Thank you very much, Justice. First of all, we need to ask ourselves what this doomsday really means and why doomsday was coined. Indeed, power outages or intermittent power outages has been something that the country has been facing for some time now. Past governments face it, be it under Jerry Rawlings, be it under President Kufuor, be it under Mills Mahama administration, be it under Akufo-Addo. And when we are dealing with power outages, there's a need for us to also put things in perspective or in context. Just as in the power sector, the dynamics are that there's supposed to be generation capacity. There's supposed to be transmission or storage transmission and or distribution. all this, there are going to be operational challenges. Now we ask ourselves, Ghana largely were depending on electricity generation. Hydro.
Right.
Of course, Akosombo as our main, hopes when it comes to the hydro. Then we came in. When we are talking about power generation, it is the NDC government, but even before I come, to deal with that, as far as our record in this power generation or the energy sector is concerned, let me ask ourselves. You see, it is the MPP who are bringing this up. And it is not new. It has been their tactics. And that's how come they coined Doomsaw, when they knew that we inherited the same power sector problems.
Yeah.
And they did nothing under President Kufuor. They did less, let me say less, to solve this power problem. Now, these are people that I think that Ghanaians should not even be paying attention to, because they seem not to understand what caused their defeat. And I would always, me in particular, will always refer to them. I would always make sure that I bring in their record as compared to our record, so that we'll set the records straight. These are the very people, in terms of managing the electrical energy sector challenges, as far as electricity is concerned.
Okay.
They were very poor at that. They didn't bring any expansion as far as generation capacity is concerned under President
But they
Kufuor.
kept the lights on under their watch.
No, that's not true. And I'll come to that.
Okay.
You see, when we are talking about power generation, if you are saying they kept the light on, why did they themselves even tend to coin the word Doomsaw? Was it not under them that your colleague journalist asked Napo why there are intermittent power outages, and he mentioned that it is Doomsaw? We heard it from their energy minister. And of course, Ghanaians cried under them that there is Doomsaw. And then Napo said, if they are crying that there is Doomsaw, then those who are crying should come out with their timetable. He was even, condescending in his response
because
to Ghanaians.
He didn't want to accept that there was Doomsaw at the time.
So
literally what he was saying at the time that they were doing Doomsaw was about the fact that there were some faulty transformers, just like you are also saying. And they were trying to fix those transformers and some few other technical challenges that they were facing.
So it means
at the time
there were intermittent power outages.
Right.
And clearly that is Doomsaw. That is Doomsaw. When there's a power interruption or a power cuts, it's off. As in tree, Doom. It's off. And when they on, see, is that not the case?
So my are we experiencing Doomsaw?
So I'm saying, no, I'm coming. If that is what Doomsaw is, to off and on, that means they were having Doomsaw.
Okay.
There's nothing in terms of how you would change the adjective as far as that is concerned. No. But as far as their record is concerned as well, you ask us, what did we do when we inherited that Doomsaw from President Kufuor? We ensured that we moved us from, hydro dependent to thermal dependent. Okay. And that's why we brought in the car power.
Okay.
That's why we brought in, Ameri. What have they done significantly? I hope you are getting it. Apart from that, we expanded access to electricity by over 21%. And rural electrification access expansion was over 28%. When they came under Akufo-Addo, apart from putting nothing on board to expand our generation capacity, because they were claiming that we over-generated and there were access that we were paying monies without needing them. They went ahead to expand access to electricity by only 5.6%, as against our over 21%. That is their track record.
But if you ask,
and apart from the generation aspect that we increase,
right,
again, in our prudent and vision, as far as President Mahama's visionary policies are concerned, he went ahead to bring in an economic buffer, which was the ESLA, Energy Sector Levy, to ensure that we set off the legacy debts in the energy sector. What did they do when they came in 2017?
But they are saying that when they came in, you are asking of what they did when they
with the ESLA. But
what they are saying is that Well, despite the fact that you went in for Ameri and then Car Power, you equally left a huge debt at the energy sector before you left. A debt they had to clear.
You see, like I said, what was, we couldn't, as a matter of fact, we established ESLA in 2014,
right,
at the peak of the crisis. So we couldn't have offset, and meanwhile we inherited energy sector debt from them. So it couldn't have accumulated to clear the, huge debt that we inherited, which was accumulation of debt from them as well as when we came. I hope you are getting. So it would have been a matter of time, and that was why ESLA was supposed to pay off our debts for not, and it would have ended in, if I'm not mistaken, 2025. That ESLA was supposed to end, as far as the usefulness would have been concerned, to pay off all the debt. What did they do? They came, and anytime we come and we build buffer, like we built sinking fund, road fund, we built infrastructure fund, we built Ghana stabilization fund. They come and they squander. We built, leave money in it, they come and squander. Again, when they came and saw ESLA and there were money in it, which was mainly supposed to offset our debt, what did they do? They rather use it, because of their voracious appetite in borrowing, they use it to raise bonds, to mortgage for bonds for about $2 million bond. That's what they do, using our ESLA proceeds, meaning our ability to pay our energy sector debt would have been challenged. And that's how come we came, and then we've met a lot of challenges as far as the energy sector is concerned. Debt upon debt. If they had continued and allowed ESLA to do its work as it was established for, I don't think we would have come to meet any other debt in the energy sector. But that was what they did. And you see, amounting to their mismanagement as far as the energy sector is concerned, these people, not only were they mortgaging our energy sector levy for loans, just to spend, again they went ahead with a family syndicate to sell ECG. To sell ECG.
Okay.
That's what they did, using the PDS, which the president as well as the vice president, now their flag bearer, were implicated. That was what they did. And as far as that's, acts or attempt to selling our ECG through PDS was concerned, you know what they did? What it cost the country. In 2014, when we had the MCC power pact with the Americans, was concerned to help us stabilize our energy sector. Over $190 million was taken away from us by the United States government, pointing to the dubious deals that PDS was coming with. That was what? So their corrupt act in the energy sector, not only did it left a lot of debt, but it also cost us a grant of $190 million. So these people. So today, what temerity do they have to talk about Dumso? Now
they may not have the temerity to talk about Dumso, but Ghanaians are asking, why are we experiencing Dumso? What are the issues?
You see, if like that, I don't have problem if Ghanaians are raising the concerns. But now, let me explain this to Ghanaians. But in as much as Ghanaians are raising it, we don't have problem because we are there to solve the problem. As a government, and particularly under President Mohammed's leadership, we don't have time to complain or to reprimand people who, ask for betterment of a sector. Ours is to solve. And that's why I am bringing the point that when we came and met the challenge, we brought in ESLA, we expanded generation. I hope you are getting it. And we expanded access to electricity. Now we've come and they came and messed up the situation. And you know, ECG, for instance, they were always a profitable organization. In 2016, it was profitable. They came in 2017 and immediately they started, having lost. I hope you are getting it. Right. So when Ghanaians are asking for this, we need to explain to them, these are the reasons why we are having the intermittent power supply. For instance, there are transformers that are supposed to supply or to, have not more than 500 households depending on an area transformer. Okay. Unfortunately, because of their inability to ensure that they upgrade to new modern transformers and also to bring in more transformers to areas that are, depending, having more houses depending on a transformer. They couldn't do that. So mostly when you see, like in the modern transmitters in our houses, or they call it main switches, when there is a high voltage, it trips. You know that. And sometimes the switches would go off, and maybe you have your bulb not coming, or you have your socket not coming. It is in the same way when there's too much power on, or too much, many people depending on one transformer, especially the old ones, power trips and it takes people off electricity. So when we came, we decided that all these challenges need to be looked at, and that's why you realize that President Mahama went and even went and then supervised some new transformers that were supposed to be installed across the northern region, districts in the northern region. You see, this is an attempt to ensure that Ghanaians get a stable power supply. The issue is not about generational capacity.
No
like
problem.
our generational capacity is about 6,000 megawatts. And at our peak periods, we don't use, as a country, we don't use more than 4.5. I hope you are getting
so granted that you've been changing, some of the transformers.
Yes. And those people,
so you mean to say that the engineers have been working 24/7?
they are working 24/7.
They work 24
They are
hours.
working 24/7. Let me just make 24/7 assiduously to ensure that they
I
solve that
listened
problem.
to a few people who have actually questioned the truth or otherwise of transformers being changed. Because people are of the view that we live in our various communities and we've not seen the electricity people changing any transformer anywhere. Where are these works ongoing? And why would the ministry even take a decision that their engineers would have to work concurrently? So whilst change of transformers are happening in the Greater Accra region, at the same time it's happening in the Northeast region, happening in the Ashanti region, happening in the Northern region, happening in the Volta region, OT region, and it's wherever. Why?
You see, like I told you, there's a need.
And in an attempt to do that, you plunge the entire country into darkness.
No. You are exaggerating, Justice. You are exaggerating. Like I told you, that kind of intermittent power outages didn't start when we came back. It was there, and I've proved to you that if indeed the Venerable Asante Hini himself had to complain that almost all his gadgets are bent because of Doomsaw. I hope it's on record.
No,
I hope you are
agree.
getting it.
That is true.
So it didn't start when NDC came, like these people are mendaciously trying to do. No, let's put that on record that it didn't. It has been a generation
you mean
thing.
to say that the engineers work 24 hours?
That's what I'm saying.
And where are these works ongoing? Because we live in
when you go to the field, you see.
But we live in our various communities, and we don't see these engineers working.
You see,
where are the works
how
ongoing?
many communities do we have in Ghana?
A lot.
How many engineers do we have in Ghana? So it has to be, if they've not come to your area, it doesn't mean they are not doing it in someone's area. I hope you are getting
live
it.
within the various communities. The same people are complaining that they don't see these people. They don't see.
So that means they haven't gotten to their areas.
So wait, can you tell us on this platform?
Yes.
The areas where so far transformers have been changed.
In Tamale, they are changing, if nothing at all.
Which side of Tamale?
With them. So you see, did you see President Mahama? Going on site to see the transformers or not? Didn't you? You are a media person, and he knows, and he has seen that. So I'm saying, or you will tell me that he just went, saw them, and left, and they allowed them. No, work is happening in areas where there's a need to change transformers. Perhaps it's not the entire country transformers that they need to change. I hope you are getting.
So once the change of transformers are ongoing, probably say in Northern region, at the same time they are doing Greater Accra, at the same time they are doing Eastern region, they are doing Central region, Western region, they are like the entire country concurrently. Is that what is happening?
Let me ask you something. When you have a problem in your house, electrical problem, and you call a mechanic to come and work on it, you know what happens? There are instances in which he wouldn't be working while the light is on. He will need to off the main switch.
I agree.
I hope you are getting it.
Yes.
Because he won't be electrocuted because he wants to do your work. In the same vein, when they come to your area and then they realize that what is causing your problem, you are having electrical problem and it is about the transformer, and they diagnose the problem that it is about the transformer, And that has been giving you that intermittent power outages that you need to call, oh, VRA, oh, we have power outages. Then they need to come and then fix it, or there's a blown fuse and they need to come and fuse that and fix that before you get light. That brings the need for them to now change the transformer. That is when they will do the need assessment and come and change it. So if they haven't come to your area, perhaps your area doesn't need its transformer to be changed.
Right.
Perhaps your area needs an additional transformer. Maybe there's too much load on it. About 1,000 houses, when there's only the need for the capacity for that transformer is 500 houses. I hope you are, because there's rapid urbanization and rapid
kindly step down. I'll come back to you.
So when you don't see them coming to your area, perhaps they've not gotten to your area. But let's not also be blinded on the fact that we had a recent inferno as far as Akosombo is concerned, where about 6 turbines were off fire. And that's how come they have made other people leadership to step aside whilst investigation is ongoing, and an acting leader is ensuring that they solve the problem. And as we speak, we have not less than 5 turbines which has been restored. And those who were having long, time, power outage, they will tell you that it has since been restored, because the engineers were working 24/7 to ensure that they stabilize it. So finally, for me to land, look, when Ghanaians complain, we would not tell them as a party that they should go and do their own timetable. We will not tell them that.
Right.
We will take the bull by its horn. We will ensure that we diagnose the problem. If it is transformer, we will ensure that we use their taxpayers' money, buy it, and fix the problem. We are here to fix the problem. We are not here to complain. But must we take governance or energy sector problem solutions from MPP? No, they fail woefully, and they don't have any record of power generation. They don't have any record of good access, power expansion of access. They don't have any good record. They only have corruption that has been on their attack as far as PDF is concerned. They only have a record of debt accumulation.
All right, thank you so much. That was Comrade A.A. Gafaro. Now let me come to you, Dominic. On what grounds are you saying that? On what grounds is the minority saying that they won't accept the excuses or the explanation given by the ministry that it was as a result of, some faulty transformers that they are changing? That's how come we are experiencing doom. So, and then, on top of it, what has actually exacerbated the situation is the fact that fire gutted some turbines at, Akosombo, and for that reason, a lot of places within the country have had their lights off. What do you have contrary to what the minister has said or what the ministry has put out there?
Thank you, my brother. Once again, greetings to your cherished viewers. Greetings to, once again, the people in Ablekuma West, especially Christian Home Polling Station. They are watching, so greetings to all of them, the chairman and all the executives there. As I see always, we recapture Ablekuma West. My brother, I do not envy the positioning which my brother Comrade Gafaro is in right now, because he's struggling to really put his thoughts together and for Ghanaians to understand him. In fact, he started well by trying to give some sort of a concessionary speech so that I could also at least sympathize with them, that things are not easy. Things are not easy. But unfortunately, he dived later into the usual politics, and we have to do justice to that. Because in fact, I could feel how.
But the minority did politics with it. Let me read a bit of what the minority said.
We are not doing politics.
The minority says that I'm coming. The minority in parliament has blamed. If you're not doing but under your watch, there was doom. So were you blamed for it?
It's not true.
There was doom. So
you and I know that we had stable power for 8 years. We
didn't have stable power for 8 years. Otherwise, Matthew, wait. Otherwise, Matthew, allow me. Otherwise,
I won't take it.
You see, we have to put things in proper place, and that's why I'm here. I'm saying that under your watch, we equally experienced doom. So And Matthew Poku Prempeh, who was the energy minister at the time, told the good people of Ghana that if we feel that there was doom, so we should come up with that old timetable. Have you forgotten so soon?
See, when you talk of doom, so so allow me to make my point.
You can go ahead.
I've always said, when the roots are diseased, the branches will never bear fruits.
Okay.
If we had this condition, then how would then the NDCs that time arrogated to themselves the stable power we're enjoying by then? We remember the NDCs came under our governance. They claimed that they had left excess power supply, and that's what we were benefiting from.
But
reason why I'm just trying to.
Let me also draw. It wasn't the NDC that was even saying it.
You said
it. Allow me. I mean, let me draw. When things are crooked, I need to straighten it. Then
it's not crooked.
Then we continue. You just indicated that it was the NDC that said it, and I want to draw your attention on the fact that allow me. It was the finance minister then, Ken Oforiatta, who indicated that we had excess power.
You didn't understand him.
I'm coming there. Why? Was he speaking French?
No.
He was speaking English.
It was in contest.
What context? He said we had power in excess to an extent that we're even, distributing some to our neighboring countries and all that.
We were paying for power we are not using wrongly.
That wasn't true. Let me just get it for you.
That was the contest. I'm not saying that. You see, if you just take that statement without looking at the context in which he made that statement, then you get it wrong. So I just want to put it on record that under NPP we had stable power. Of course, the Asante issue you mentioned was only a localized situation in the Ashanti region. When we had the issue of telecom mast falling to affect Greek coast, that was the issue. It was a localized issue. It wasn't a national issue, and Asante himself admitted. So you can't just make that blanket statement as though.
Why are you talking as if we're living in space when NPP was in power?
My brother, did we experience what we are experiencing now?
We experienced Dumso under your watch.
It's not true.
If a Ghanaian started complaining and then Matthew Poku told us that we should draw our own timetable if we felt that there was Dumso.
Do you know when they started? Since they resumed office. February.
That is not true.
Somewhere February started. I'm shocked we are doing this.
That is not true.
Let's
be truthful. That is not true. That's not true.
My parents would always call and tell me that there was light out. It is the truth. Why are you behaving as if we don't know what's happening in the country? Somewhere around February, March, these things are started. You yourself, you were listening litanies of excuses they were giving. Are you telling me that they started these excuses just last week? Go onto the net and check when they started giving excuses for the Dumso. So please, 14 months of excuses and we are not seeing anything. And then we are trying to draw the attention to some of the things we did. That could help. But arrogantly, they are not listening. You see, as I said earlier, we came to office and we complained that we were doing take or pay under the NDC before we came. So we were paying for power that we were not using. Which means there was a problem with the negotiation. What we did was to do a better negotiation, which was a take and pay. And that is what made us introduce the energy sector recovery program. And that document is there, 61-page document. It has all that we intended to do as far as contracts involving power supply is concerned. So, yes, I always draw this scenario. The NDCs are saying that we built infrastructure. We employed good teachers. Yet our students failed under our watch as headmasters. And we are saying that the same resources we were able to make the student pass and have 100% pass. The difference here is management. It's not enough to just add on, and you are clueless as to how to manage that effectively. That's what you call efficiency in economics. Being able to make do much out of little. That's what we are saying. When we came under that program, we reduced ideally what would have been a debt, or we saved, let me put it that way, we saved some 4 billion, over 4 billion Ghana cedis that would have gone waste for paying for power that we are not using. That's what I've told you. The power we are not using, you have to renegotiate with the IPPs. You can read the energy sector recovery program. I'll share the document with you. How you were able to do that?
Governor kindly allow him.
How we were able to do that? So we saved over 40 billion Ghana cedis. That would have been a debt for paying, and their problem was that they were overpaying. And if you look at it, you see that whatever they paid for was not prudent. If you go back to that document, it will help you to know how you should negotiate power arrangements. The issue here is both money, especially money, basically money. Apart from that, then mismanagement. You gave us litany of excuses. First, you began with the fact that we left huge debts. Meanwhile, we had introduced tax, energy recovery tax. Yet you were complaining because you wanted to raise some 57 billion or so to clear that. Yet you were still complaining that we had left debt for you. That was the first excuse. Then later we shifted to maintenance. Now, smartly you brought in the fire issue. That you have lost over 1,000 megawatts or about 1,000 megawatts, and that's the reason why we are experiencing this. All these things are smart moves. The Director General for ECG has come to tell us clearly that it will take us 2 years to come out of this situation. So he said some of the things will take 3 to 6 months, and we should expect 2 years to be out of this situation. So this is from the horse's own mouth. To show commitment that you want to do this, you shouldn't sack the CEO of RICO. It's the minister you must sack, because the minister is clueless. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Sacking, that's the CEO, is just one of those political gimmicks.
Right. Kindly step down.
You should
we'll go
rather
for
sack
a break and come back then.
the minister. Abu Jinapor should be sacked, and
I
then
see.
put someone who can do the work, so that you because now it's even difficult for you to explain yourself. You bought all these things, you claim you left excess power. Now you are in office. We gave you stable power for 8 years. Now you are in office, do it again, and then you brought back Dumso. In no time, the nurses and those celebrities will again go on strike or demonstration. They will go on demonstration so that you understand the situation. Because behind every power outage, you should remember that businesses are collapsing. Students are even writing exams. They have no light to study. So this issue should be handled with care.
Right. Okay. Before we cross over for our sponsors to have their draw, done. This is not from me, but this is from the former Deputy Energy Minister, and this is what he said to the NDC somewhere in 2020. He said, "Expanding power capacity is unnecessary." And he said, Deputy Energy Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam says he is surprised by the National Democratic Congress's manifesto promise to increase power generation capacity in the country. According to him, the country is currently dealing with the problem of excess capacity. Dealing with the problem of excess capacity generated by the NDC in their last administration and had expected the party to suggest methods to resolve the problem in their manifesto rather than exacerbating the issue by adding on to the country's power generation. Quote, the NDC, our friends, are making a new promise on expanding capacity. One of the major challenges in the energy sector now is the issue of excess capacity. And a problem. And so what I'm expecting is that they will tell Ghanaians how they intend addressing the excess capacity, a problem which was created by them, actually.
So the excess capacity is not just about...
So it wasn't about the NDC saying that they generated a lot when they were in power. In fact, it was you said. But before, no, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Our sponsors are waiting. Let's go for a short break. When we come back, the show, continues.
Efforts and decisive leadership, we implemented structural reforms across the entire value chain, from generation, transmission, through distribution, and its related areas. These reforms showed measurable results, and you can attest that for a very long time, the power was relatively stable, and we received a lot of commendation. On the generation side, independent power producers who were complaining and threatening to shut down received significant improvement. We worked on fuel generation, increased gas consumption from Jubilee, from TEN, and from N-Gas, stabilizing gas supplies. On the fuel side, with liquid fuels, we equally stabilized it. We brought discipline in the distribution sector, culminating in increased revenue collection, and more importantly, a very disciplined expenditure framework for ECG and NETCO. Whilst in 2024, ECG spent about 9.3 billion. This year, ECG is spending 1.8 billion through efficiency, but spending that amount on critical infrastructure. And everybody can attest to that fact. Last year alone, we restored the partial risk guarantee from the World Bank, which had been depleted, $500 million. We paid over 1.4 billion energy sector debt, restoring confidence in the sector and ensuring that we deliver reliable power to the people of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, taken together, these efforts have resulted in a period of relative stability in power supply, one that many Ghanaians have experienced over the past year. However, and as happens in life, recently we've had some major challenges. These challenges have become a two-pronged challenge. The first is the unfortunate incident that just occurred over the weekend. The second is the technical challenges we faced based on the obsolete equipment, overloaded transformers, and transformers that have been failing. But notwithstanding these challenges, the overall trajectory of the power sector remains strong, progressive. We continue with the reforms, and I must say that the sector remains resilient despite the recent challenges. And as Minister for the sector, even though this is a very challenging period, I am determined to work with the team to ensure that we overcome these challenges. And so, members of the press, with your permission, I will deal with these two challenges. And with your permission, I'll take care of the incident that happened at Akosombo last week. I address you today first on what happened to Ghana's biggest generation plant, the Akosombo plant. An unexpected and significant incident that has greatly and significantly disrupted power evacuation across the country. Fellow citizens, this incident represents one of the most serious and unprecedented disruptions ever experienced in Ghana's power sector. And in the energy sector, Akosombo used to serve as a balance of load. And so hitherto, all of us even believe that once you lose Akosombo, then you lose the entire nation. As unfortunate as it is, despite the loss of Akosombo, all the other plants have been running, but it leaves a major deficit. The fire incident severely damaged the control room responsible for power evacuation. Because when they generate the power from the thermal plant, from the hydro plant, it has to go to the control room first. Then the control room takes the power through the switchyard and distributes it. And so when you lose the control room, it means that on the spur of the moment, you cannot evacuate any power, thereby crippling the critical component of the transmission system, leaving over 1,000 megawatts of power stranded at Akosombo. Obviously, with such an unfortunate situation, and inevitably, it results in supply disruption across parts of the country. Fellow Ghanaians, as minister responsible for the energy sector, my foremost desire and objective is to ensure that every Ghanaian and every part of our country enjoys a stable, reliable, and uninterruptible power supply for economic activity and social activity. This has been the focus of our effort since assuming office, and we have not relented on that effort. This unfortunate and unprecedented disaster, which I have never witnessed, has resulted in the temporary curtailment of power from our largest generation source, the Akosombo Dam, leading to severe power challenges not witnessed in recent times. Let me state, and I state humbly, to all those affected by this situation, I wish to assure you that I deeply empathize with you and I share your frustration and discomfort in this trying moment. We never anticipated this. We never saw it coming. We've never witnessed it. It's challenging, but we would rise above this challenge. Let me assure you that government, working through all relevant sector agencies, have responded with urgency and coordination. Our engineers have since remained on site. Some of them have stayed there for 3 continuous days without leaving site, working around the clock under very, very extreme and difficult conditions to restore operations. It has been hard work. It has been determination. When I visited the dam site and received the briefing, it was very challenging. Others thought that it was not going to be possible. But I'm pleased to inform you today that through emergency technical interventions and sheer determination, the first generation unit was successfully restored yesterday. This afternoon, as I was about preparing to come for this briefing, I received confirmation from the acting Gridco MD and the VRA MD that the second unit has also been brought and is generating power. I've also been reliably informed that the third unit is undergoing works and that it will be brought on as soon as possible. When we bring on the third unit, it then paves the way that the new technology, the innovative technology that they've never used following this incident has proven to be successful. Then they will bring on the remaining 3 units. On behalf of government and on behalf of the good people of Ghana, I wish to seize this opportunity to commend and salute our engineers and technical teams who have remained on site, working tirelessly under extremely difficult conditions to restore the system to full operation. Let me tell you that your dedication, your professionalism, and unwavering commitment in the face of these daunting challenges and situation is truly, truly commendable. I salute you, I thank you, I commend you, and I'm immensely proud of what you've achieved so far. Given the situation, I've also directed the MD for the Electricity Company of Ghana to provide regular and timely updates to the public on areas that will be affected. We will not shirk responsibility. We will not deceive you. When I briefed the president told me to be honest and transparent. Yes, this unfortunate incident leaves a gap, and so it will affect some people. And so ECG, under the management of Engineer Julius Pekwen, have been publishing regional updates. And in collaboration with the Ministry of Information, we're even going to make it more available for everybody to see what is happening. But because it is fluid, because it's not like the regular load shedding, where you are aware that for a foreseeable period of time, you cannot restore power, we cannot do weekly publications. In fact, engineers are working around the clock. Within this week, they are pushing to restore all the plants back online. And so we can only provide you with a very short interval period. Indeed, this morning, we published a schedule for 6 o'clock to 6 p.m. That's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This afternoon, they've had to review it because one more plant is come on with about 140 megawatt. And so we would not live in denial. When we face challenges, we would tell Ghanaians. We know that, like me, every Ghanaian wants to enjoy uninterruptible supply of power. But I also do know that Ghanaians also appreciate it when we have genuine challenges that is not caused by policy failure or intentional. We will be honest with you, but we'll also tell you what we are doing to address the situation. And we have since been doing that right from the day I visited the plant and all the periodic updates that we've been providing. Let me also state clearly that disasters of this nature are neither predictable nor entirely preventable. And even in advanced countries, sometimes they face challenges. However, what remains within our control is the speed, the coordination, the
Welcome back from that break. You're still watching the Prime Points right here on Pan-African Television with me, Justice Apia. Those of you watching us on Facebook can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. You can as well leave your suggestions, questions, contributions, and all of that on our WhatsApp text line, and I'll be reading those out for you. Now, let me do some few of our messages, and then I come back to Gafaru and Dominic. This one says, good evening, host and your panelist. The MPP was the creator of Dumso, and they are at it again. They punished Ghanaians because of their hatred for John Dramani Mahama. If you listen to them carefully, you will not be far from the truth. It's high time Mahama change all of them, or else he will regret big time. All right, thank you so much for your message. This one also says, good evening, Justice. Please ask the MPP man for me. If they really saved 4 billion, how come they couldn't pay the IPPs and their Sogli plant had to be shut down? Thanks. Selam at University of Ghana sent in that one. So Selam is asking a very fundamental question. I'll come to you. I'll be very grateful if you could help me to be mechanized. I am a staff who have been working at Bator Hospital. I'm being paid with internally generated funds. Kindly help me to be put on government payroll. Thank you. May the good Lord give you peace, guide, and give you long life. Okay, thank you so much. We'll see what we can do about that. This one says, good evening, Justice. Please ask the MPP man for me. Okay, so Selam, I read your message already. Thank you. He will definitely answer. This one says, good evening, sir. I trust you are doing well. Longest time as well. But he also didn't, really say anything. This one says, good evening, Justice. Let it be clear to the MPP man in your studio that the current Dumso is about faulty transformers and the fact that fire gutted, the Akosombo Dam, and it has got nothing to do with, financial issues or generational capacity. All right, thank you so much for your message. Kindly keep your messages coming in. I'll come back and read a lot more. But let me come to you, Dominic. You were on the floor before we went on break.
Okay, so I think this will be the last submission I'm making. So let me say this clearly once again. The MPP complained of the amount of money paid for nothing. Nothing means that we're not enjoying anything from that money paid. That is on record.
No, come again. That point is not too clear.
I want to, so let me reiterate. What I'm saying is, when we complained about excess power, maybe if you just take the excess power in isolation, you miss the argument or the position we were trying to establish. So our proposition is that when we came into office, there were contracts, power supply contracts, that made the state pay so much without enjoying anything from that payment. So the arrangement was such that it is take or pay. So you take it whether you need it or not, you pay. But what we needed was take and pay, so that at the end of the day, we only pay for what we were using. And then if you could make some sort of arrangement for excess, it's not going to be too much, because we understand that there should be some sort of about 10% or 10 to 21% excess. But we had more than that excess, and we were still paying and we're not using it. Meanwhile, there was still Dunso at the time.
When you assumed it, was it
no,
Dunso?
during NDC time. So that those excess power supply was there, and we were still experiencing Dunso, which meant that we were spending too much on the excess, and we couldn't even buy fuel for the plant.
So you claimed that under your watch you kept the lights on. What specifically did you do? What interventions did you bring to resolve the issue?
We renegotiated, and I'm saying that renegotiation was that which saved if you were to go by the NDC's arrangements, then we could pay excess of what we actually paid, excess of over 40 million Ghana cedis, excess of that. So we had to renegotiate, and I'm telling you, you can just go back, cast your mind back. Some of these renegotiations were what even had to lead the then energy minister Boache Jako out, because you saw that what we complained that the NDC had done was almost what we were going to do, due to quickly.
Due to what?
Due to what? It could be due to oversight. So quickly that was changed. It doesn't matter whether there was oversight. At the end of the day, the right thing was done. So it was management, because if you pay more and you cannot even maintain it because you are paying too much, you are not cutting your coat according to your size, more or less. So you are paying more for energy supply, yet we couldn't enjoy it because we couldn't even have money to then buy fuel. Remember, one of the reasons was because we couldn't even buy fuel for the plants, the thermal plants. And then we brought the energy sector recovery program, which is still available now, detailing from now to 2030 how we can undergo or go into energy supply contracts and what we are supposed to. You remember?
But you also met ESLA, the energy sector levy, at the time. What did you do with it? Because that levy was meant to deal with problems with regards to the sector. But under your watch, we had done so.
My brother. We didn't have Dumso. The situation was managed effectively. And this is what I tried to put in, but you don't want to accept. We managed the situation to the point that the NDCs came complaining we are enjoying stable power because they created excess power. That comment was made by President Mahama. So, what we are saying is they should go back, deal with the issues from the roots. They should go back, go to that document they have abandoned, and then get some tidbits from there to manage the energy sector.
You are finishing all the time.
Oh no, allow him to continue. I'll give you your own time. Go ahead.
So they should go back to that document.
What document?
The energy sector recovery program. It is there. We have abandoned it. it took broader stakeholder engagement for us to put together that document.
And what did it bring to the table?
It brought stable power.
By doing what? How did it bring the stable power?
So as I said, you see, in that we also have even transition from this our traditional power supply to renewable energy.
Like?
So renewable energy, you should know renewable energy.
You see, you ask him a question and he's not able to answer it.
Which question?
He's been dodging it.
Which question?
He asks, what exactly did you do? What exactly did you do to ensure a stable
and
power
what exactly
supply?
do you want me to say before you understand that we manage the power, the energy sector well in terms of contracts, power supply contracts, and I'm telling you that we're able to save some 40 million Ghana cedis. That also could mean that you could supply more fuel for the thermal plants. So what again do you want me to say? Because some of your issues, you are talking about transformers. I remember we fixed over 250 transformers, new transformers.
And we are still having problems.
So it tells you that the issue is not about transformers. That's why we are skeptical about the excuses they are giving. Because we fixed over 250 transformers during our time. So what has happened to these new transformers? What has happened? Anyway, the ECG boss has already said it, that you should expect to come out of this within 2 years. This is a technocrat speaking. You should listen to him. You should expect to come out of it in the next 2 years. Thank you.
Right, Gafaru, I just you talked about the fact that under your watch there wasn't Dumso, but let me read a few. Some articles to you. This was published
Are you talking about the time you were doing the upgrade?
You were doing upgrade. But when you were doing the upgrade, what was happening?
How long did it last?
No, when you were doing the upgrade, what was happening?
So how long did it last?
Answer the question first.
So there was some sort of...
How long has this current challenges
wait.
Since 14 months now.
When you were doing the upgrade,
yes.
Gafaru, please allow me. When you were doing the upgrade, what was happening?
You were having
rationing
of power.
Okay.
But
the lights were going on and off, true or false?
Yes.
What do you
but
call?
It wouldn't.
There was
no way.
The lights were going on and off, true or false? So I just want you to answer
true,
me.
But there was no way.
No, I'll give you the opportunity to explain. But when you were doing the upgrade, the lights were going on and off, true or false?
That's true.
Okay. What do you call that?
What do you call that?
What do you call lights going on? Literally, like in this country, what do we call lights going on and off?
Light going on when you have to do an upgrade so that you put off a particular area for just a few hours.
But does it look like this government is intentionally? No way. Does it look like it wasn't for few hours? In fact,
few hours. No one slept.
Wait. Let you see.
It was for few hours.
On this platform, let's be truthful. Let's not be disingenuous.
I was
No, allow me. Let me address our view. In fact, there are a lot of people who are watching this program, and they are more discerning than us. They know more than us. We have lawyers, we have judges, we have lecturers. In fact, we have academics who are watching this program. They know more than us. Let's not come and sit on this platform and think that we can throw things just out there. Why? We were not living in space when the NPP was in power. We were living in this country. There was light out. There was light off. That's how come we demanded for a timetable, and Napo told us that we should come out with our own timetable. So please, don't tell us that it was going off for some few hours and all that. That cannot be true. I just want us to put things in proper perspective. Charlie, go ahead. Now, sorry for using the word. Go ahead. But you see, in fact, this was a publication by City, and it was published on April 19, 2024. Napo must apologize over Dumso timetable comment. And this was coming from Kwebu. And that was after the then Energy Minister, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, told us, after complaining, he disrespectfully told us that we should come out with our own timetable if we felt that that there was, it doesn't matter how long it lasted.
No, it matters.
What I do know was
It
at the
matters.
time the lights were going off.
How long?
Gaffer,
For how
kindly go ahead.
Justice.
Yeah.
You see, like I said the other time, when it comes to governance, I don't think the NDC would take lectures or even, let's say, criticism from people who governed woefully, managed the energy sector miserably. I don't think we would take, guidance from them. Just we've been given 4-year mandate. Is that not the case? And like I told you, and I gave you empirical evidence that these were the things we did to ensure that we solved the Dumso problem. And I mentioned generation capacity, what we did to expand generation capacity. What we did to ensure that there is a reliable fund to set off the legacy debt as far as the energy sector is concerned. I told you. Now, Dominic has been trying so desperately to ensure that he whisked away the fact that indeed there was Dumso under NPP. Indeed, he can sit here and say there wasn't Dumso. But the people watching us, those who felt it, which is among the reasons why you were kicked out, they know.
But you too, how truthful are you, being with the current Dumso that we
are not saying
that the NDC,
yes.
You people would not also want us to call this one Dumso.
No,
All you are saying is to play gimmicks with this whole situation. We are changing transformers, we are doing this, we are doing that, and that this is not Dumso and all. But Ghanaians are experiencing the real Dumso in this country.
If it is with the literal meaning of even Dumso, off and on, is that not the case? We have off and on
because you kept shifting goalposts.
How come
the very first one was that we're changing transformers? The last time I checked, we don't change transformers 24 hours in this country. Let
me put it before you that NDC is not saying there's no problem in the power energy sector. If there's no problem, we wouldn't even be changing transformers. If there is no power outages, we wouldn't. But as to whether someone call it Dumso or Dumsiesie, it is not the subject matter. The subject matter is Ghanaians want the problem to be fixed. And that is what we are out to do. That is what I'm saying. We are not a government that complains. We are saying we've been given a 4-year mandate. We were given another 8-year mandate. We were able to solve the problem. And I gave you the interventions we made. They have been able to get another 8 years as well. They came and drew us backwards by accumulating the energy sector debts and also plunging us into the sector another crisis. So we are here and we'll fix. We always fix. They come, they destroy, and we are here to fix it. We are not complaining, and that's why within 3, 4, 5 days, we've been able to restore the problem at Akosogo.
The last time I checked, when President John Dramani Mahama was in power from 2012 to 2016, I guess. 2012 to 2016, we experienced himself for like 3 years. People's businesses collapsed.
Look, I am saying.
So what did you fix at the time?
You see, let me tell you something. We are a growing economy and we are a growing nation. Our population increases. People build houses. You and I, we have that. We have clearly in our mind that we want to also build in Accra here. Is that not the case? So as we build, we tap into national grid. So you expect that there is going to be more pressure. We ask ourselves simply, under President Kufuor, were they able to, because that's why we had to bring generation. If they had built up generation capacity, we wouldn't have come to inherit that problem of generation deficit. I hope you are getting it. So like we said, President Mahama came and said, indeed, he didn't insult anyone and his energy minister didn't tell anybody to come out with their own timetable. We came out with a timetable. We admitted that there is the problem. And we pointed to a generation deficit, and we said that they didn't build any capacity as far as intervention to bring generation is concerned. They didn't. So when we came, we agreed, and President Mahama said, "I will fix it." It's on record, and indeed he fixed it. That if he never fixed it, why is it that before MPP came, they were now crying that there's excess capacity? It means we brought something, and that's why I mentioned that
when it comes to the energy sector, you know, and when it comes to our lights,
yes,
it is not just about capacity. It's about capacity, generational capacity. It's about
transmission, distribution,
and distribution.
And operational challenges.
You cannot always be talking about generational capacity without talking about transmission and distribution.
As at the time, like I'm saying, as at the time you said we got into the peak of the doom, so for good 3 years. I am saying, yes, admittedly, that was so. But I'm saying the major reason was not about transmission or distribution. The major reason was about sustainable funding, as well as the legacy debt, as well as the generation deficit. I hope you are getting, which I said President Mahama agreed, and even came out with a separate ministry called the Power Ministry, solely to solve this problem. And indeed, for the first time, when we gave ourselves time to solve it and it wasn't solved, the then Power Minister, honorably, with integrity, resigned. Have you ever seen them having their leadership resigning? No. So they resigned, and another person came in, continued, and was able to cover or solve the generation deficit. That is what leadership is about. So we are saying, yes, indeed, we are back. They came, after we gave them enough capacity, with excess capacity, as they say, which is true. After we gave them, still we were having doomsday, which runs to the fact that the transmission and distribution was a challenge, as well as the reliable funding. So now we are here. ESLA, because of like I said, they mortgaging it for loan. Instead of ESLA ending in 2020, ESLA is now pushed to end in 2035. Another 15 years to be able to use ESLA process. We were supposed to pay the energy sector debt to now be paying for loans that they took and chopped. That is the mess they created, including leaving ECD riddled with debts. An entity that was profitable when we were in power. They came 2016, the first year, second year, they started accumulating debts. And indeed, we inherited ECD with debts. Now we are paying, we've paid over 1.5 million Ghana cedis as far as the energy sector is concerned. Now it is a challenge that we are taking. It is the same President Mahama who is there. He's not going to have his minister insult Ghanaians by saying that they should come up with their own timetable or require it, instead of admitting his doom, so require it doom CSA. He's not. It's their own shadow that was following them, and they require it doom CSA. Now President Mahama is still in charge. He's a man who doesn't run away from challenges. He admits it, take leadership, and we follow. And what is that leadership? The leadership is to ensure that we fix all faulty transformers. The leadership is to ensure that we restructure the energy sector to get a reliable funding, to ensure that IPPs, as we are not. Have you seen any IPP person complaining again, saying that they will shut down their plant? No, because we have kept them at an arm's length, and we are able to follow in their demand as far as payment is concerned. Under them, IPPs were saying that they are going to shut down their plants. That is what we are getting. Indeed, when they said they wanted to renegotiate the Ameri, they ended up signing an inflated $180 million. The president himself saw it and signed to chop that 180 million when he was exposed by CSOs and then our opposition, active opposition then. He decided to say that it was the energy minister, Boachi Ajako, and sacked him. Boachi Ajako came recently, as recent as 2023, and said it wasn't true on Asempa. He said that he indeed was not, though he was to solve that problem, to help in renegotiating. But it was Addison, lawyer Addison, who was the chair of a committee, a plural committee that President Akufo-Addo set to look into it and renegotiate. So they were, Boachi Ajako is also pointing fingers that he was not part of the renegotiation. They were only briefing him and briefing Akufo-Addo. So it was the committee that inflated it. And he was rather the one who took the brunt, who took the vicarious punishment. I hope you are getting it. So like we are saying,
So at least
we've met it. It's a challenge. When as the Asante, he complained about Doom. So do you know what they did?
What did they
as
do?
he claimed that it was a communication mast that fell on transmission lines and it caused that for short period. If it is that, we would have taken only 1-2 weeks to fix that problem. It is not true. Indeed, when that problem in Ashanti region was at its peak and people were crying, market women were crying, what they did was to now come. What we brought, Ameri, they had to now say that simply the best they could do is to relocate it to Ashanti region to solve the problem. They couldn't bring any major intervention there, to bring even a battle there.
Right.
They had to relocate Ameri there. And you know, even that one, they were fraudulent. Just relocation. $38 million that it would have taken to, relocate it. Is that not the case? But for even NDC, opposition, active opposition, you would have sold our ECG for $20 million. This is your record. So we have 4-year mandate. We agree that there's challenge. Indeed, sometimes even in my area, I experience this. It's not only you. So it is not something that is hidden in our financial books like they used to hide our economic figures and cook it, that Ghanaians cannot feel. Then you say that there's no. We would never say that there's no. We will never say that there's no intermittent power outages, whether we call it doomsday or doomsday.
The minority believes that.
What we are saying is we would fight it and we'll solve the problem.
So the minority says that stop the excuses and tell Ghanaians the real situation. They believe that it's as a result of poor management of the Electricity Company of Ghana, claiming that repeated public apologies and emergency maintenance schedules are evidence of deeper structural problems. And the fact that they are saying that, in fact, all they are saying basically is that it's because you are mismanaging the sector, and the neglect of the sector is what has led us to the current doom. So, and not because fire actually gutted Akosomo, or you are changing certain transformers and all of that. How do you respond to that?
You see, clearly, when you have an opposition who rush to take everything, you see, to score political goals, they come out with flimsy excuses without even watching their back. It's not that they have never been in power, and it's not that they've not managed the same sector. Like I said, we won't take advice from them.
You won't take advice from them?
What advice?
Because
what advice?
Arrogance.
If they are not able to do it, and they were kicked out because of those issues, why should we take it from them?
But if you should compare the NPP's 8 years to the John Mahama's 4 years previously, and we are to assess them on who managed the energy sector well in terms of keeping the lights on.
No,
and then NPP
you ask a simple
better.
no. You ask a simple question.
Wait, this is because as a Ghanaian,
yes,
I don't care about anything. I just want to wake up and see my lights on.
Okay, so you
under NDC, under John Mahama one, we saw the lights off for close to 3 years, and that is true. That was true then, and that is true today.
It seems when I was explaining, you didn't perhaps pay attention.
I listened to you, but what I'm saying is that the ordinary Ghanaian would want to wake up and see his or her lights on. Nothing.
Wasn't there light out under Kufuor?
There was.
Didn't pastors go? Didn't pastors go? Didn't pastors go? Say that they were going to this and what is it? Akosombo to pray for water. So I'm saying
it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you should be economical with it.
You've asked questions.
Tell Ghanaians the real situation on the ground.
The real situation is we are having intermittent power outages, and we are there to solve it.
What has caused it? What has caused it? What's the cause of the intermittent power outages that we are witnessing lately?
That's what we've mentioned, that we have some transformers that need to
which is wrong.
But you don't change transformers 24 hours. So you mean to say that the engineers work from morning till the next morning, they don't rest?
You are getting it wrong.
No, the reason is that
you are getting it wrong. It's not that when they go to change it, that's when they off it and there would be a power outage. Like I told you, that's why I said when I was speaking, maybe both of you weren't listening.
You listened.
Like I said,
you have repeated that.
Some of the transformers are overloaded. I hope you are getting it. A transformer which is supposed to keep about 500 households is keeping over 1,000 households. So there will be, constant trips. I hope you are getting it. That is what I am saying, and that is how come they are changing some of the transformers, and that is how come they are creating more transformers. I hope you are getting. So it's not just even changing.
So
it's also changing. So I'm saying it is a major aspect in addition to the current inferno in Akosombo causing the fire. So like I'm saying, we are having a 4-year mandate. We are not running away from the fact that there's a problem. There's a problem, and we are out there to solve it. And I said, you asked him a question, which he was Dominic was dodging. You asked that, what have you done within the energy sector? He was not able to tell us and give us a clear evidence as to this was what they did to keep our power stable, because we knew
because you didn't accept
there
my
wasn't
answer.
a stable power. I hope you are getting it, because if he was able to tell us that we brought a Russia like we brought America, if he was able to tell us that we brought this like we brought car power, he's not able to tell us anything. I hope you are getting it. Substantive, substantially, to ensure that indeed this was what they did. He's only telling us renegotiation, a renegotiation that was, riddled with corruption. That's just what he's saying. Like I am saying, look, Justice, there's a problem. The problem is you need us to fix.
Right.
Let's wait in the next few months. If it has not been solved, you agree with me. You agree with me.
Right.
For the past, within 2025, we have relatively stable power.
Right.
I hope you are getting it. Relatively stable power with some few areas having those problems. I hope you are getting it. So we are not there to complain, and we are not going to dismiss the complaints of Ghanaians.
Okay.
We agree. That's why we were voted, and that's why we were voted out, and you will never come back to power. I hope you are getting it. You will never come back to power.
Those will take you out
You
of
will
power.
never. I hope you are getting it.
Those will take you out of
They
power.
are very good in causing a disruption.
Now
They are very good in diverting attention. They are very good in labeling. And anytime we come and we are fixing the problems, that if we were living,
our time is
like I
almost
told you, Justice, if we were living and we have left debt at ECG, that's why you would have had problem.
Oh, you left debt.
We can point
You
out
left,
that
you left over 21.
2016 we never left debt.
Hey,
in ECG.
you left a debt.
No. When
You left a debt.
No.
You left it.
How much?
21 million.
Where?
Oh,
ECG.
check.
ECG.
Yes, you left. You left a debt.
That's why there are disingenuity. There are disingenuous actions. That's why they were kicked out
you left a debt.
That's how you were kicked out.
Let's get going. Let's get going.
And I trust you.
You should not.
Once we solve this energy sector problem, we'll see what they will bring on board again to speak about. But like I said, Ghanaians are aware. The revered of 2-4 and the good people of Ashanti are aware of what they face, and they have to come. They have to come. Please give me. They have to come and use our own Ameri to say that this is how they are going to solve it.
Okay.
Ghanaians are aware that we are not arrogant.
Our time
We will
is
not
up.
be dismissive of what they are complaining of.
You
We will take
been
it,
lambasting
hold the
Pentecost.
bull, the head of the horse of the bull, and then we will solve the problem for them, and we will do it. You
Right.
wait. Within few days, you will see.
Thank you so
We'll
much,
solve it.
Gafaru. Thank you so much, Comrade
this is
Gafaru.
what
This one says,
yes.
good evening, Jay. It is misleading for the opposition to claim they can solve them so when their time in office was marked by poor planning, neglected maintenance, and a heavily indebted energy sector of about $1.2 billion. The current challenges are a continuation of those failures, worsened by issues affecting the Akosombo Dam. Even symbolic actions like commissioning basic transformers by Nanado at Afuega highlights a lack of focus on real solutions. At the same time, the New Patriotic Party government's heavy spending on past questions despite poor student performance reflects misplaced priorities in education. Ghana needs genuine reforms, investment in teaching quality, curriculum delivery, and accountability, not cosmetic interventions. Lasting solutions will come from the leadership under the NDC, led by John Dramani Mahama, Humado Sichofe, incoming branch communications officer, Gwan constituency, Oti region. Tell the NDC man that I need his number. All right, thank you so much for your message. This one says, you are, as a host, you are doing So if MPP was in power and they did something wrong, does it mean that they should not complain? Even your body language says it all. Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say what you are saying. But you see, I'm only asking that we should be factual and truthful on this platform, because there are more discerning people at home who are watching the program, and they know better than us, and that's all I'm asking for. If you do not understand that, then I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. If anybody appears on this show and the person is being economical with the truth, I would definitely draw the person's attention. My brother, stop complaining to them. This mess that we are facing currently is because of the mismanagement of the previous government. They want to use Dumso and play politics, which will not help them. Thank you so much for your message. And so let me do this too, and then we wrap up. This one says, if you give a brand new vehicle to a driver and he managed it for 8 years without any serious maintenance, and I take back the vehicle after 8 years, will the vehicle be the same as I gave it, knowing that the vehicle has a lifespan? All right, okay, thank you all so much for watching tonight's edition of the program. Make a time with us, same time tomorrow. My name is Justice Apia. Thank you so much for coming, Comrade A.A. Gafaro. Thank you so much for coming, Dominic. I'm so grateful for your time. Have a lovely night.